nutshell, I basically recruit the best and the brightest around the world. Some of my focus is actually in engineering, but my team also works with MBA students, finance, etc. Facebook just opened up our Seattle, UK, and New York office for engineering, so we're expanding, looking at talent that may prefer to stay on the East Coast or in Europe to accommodate some of those needs. I would say I've been in a dream job for every job that I've been in because I think it's gotten me to a point where I realize I like to move lateral. I like to work on new projects that challenges me. And I also like to travel. So this is actually the perfect role for me as a university programs manager. So I'm heading to Baltimore next week, and I will be working with some of the finest young women engineers out there to kind of keep them in computer science, to love math and love science. A lot of people ask me why not do other types of recruiting, for example, executive recruiting or agency recruiting. I think for me, partly this would help me stay young, as I get to talk with students around the world that has a different type of passion, probably a little bit less jaded than many of us up here. And Facebook overall is a unique company in the fact that we created transparency in the social world, but internally we actually dog food all our products. So things move fast in a way where we have open critique, both constructive and positive, and we kind of make changes as we go. So hopefully you guys are all on Facebook and Google Plus too.
So show of hands, who here has shopped at a Macy's? Okay, if you didn't raise your hand, shame on you. So what do? I am a merchandise planner, and yes, you are correct, I plan merchandise. And what that is it's in between what we call Fashion Week, which happens 4 times a year, and then what you see on the floor. So in between that time frame, my counterpart, a buyer, and I, we choose the right product and build the right product to our niche markets out there and develop product strategies for all 800 stores across the nation. To put it into bigger perspective, yesterday I came in early, and yesterday I spent all day traveling stores in the area. So I went all the way down to Monterey, and what I learned about the customer there was that when she buys handbags, she buys traditional solid leather handbags. So I know that in a brand like Coach, I'm not going to distort signature bags there. So these are kind of the strategies and the product knowledge of the customer that I need to know in order to help me excel in my job. So in a nutshell, what I do all week long is I shop, but I shop with an analytical, yep, everyone wants my job. It's my dream job. I shop with an analytical skill set. What makes me passionate about also working at Macy's is that they give me room to grow in the sense that I develop other areas of my life. I carry a lot of my heritage with me. I am one of the leaders of the APIA Employee Resource Group, which if you guys are not familiar with what an Employee Resource Group is, it's a subset, kind of like a club within the company where we drive commerce, culture, community, and outreach within the organization. And then the second piece is I'm also the lead for the Asian strategy for the entire company. So shedding light on what the customer wants, what she wants, what they're buying overseas, what are the trends today. Great, thank you.
Sounds really fun. All right, so mine's a little different. I work in the high-tech industry, so for Salesforce.com. And prior to this, I was actually working in the entertainment and sports. So completely different experience, but still doing event marketing and catering to consumers or businesses. So I recently changed my position, and after Dreamforce, I am now taking a new role, and I'm on the social media team for Salesforce.com for all corporate marketing. I'll be leading all social strategy for partner marketing and global events. And this is my dream job because I actually was able to create this job. So I worked with my CMO and all our executives here at Salesforce and let them know that what I wanted to do was that I was passionate about is what I wanted to work with different companies within our customers. And so like we have customers like Virgin America and Spotify, and how are we working with them to leverage partner programs from a social perspective and driving leads and pipeline from that. So they said, all right, let's build it. So I was able to create a job description based on what my goals were. So that was my dream job.
Great. Love that you were able to create that at your company.
a very rare opportunity. That's great.
So before I go to my dream job, dream company, just wanted to backtrack. Chris told my story. So I'm that Indian guy he was talking about, by the way, who reached out to him about the mentorship program. And I was going to share that today, but you already heard it. Work for a very, very hot company. It's the only bank represented here. It's Wells Fargo. I manage the business banking division in the Peninsula market. What our team does is specializes with businesses 0 to 20 million. Those are considered small businesses in the United States. And small businesses run the economy in the United States. 20 million small businesses in US, around 8 to 9 million right here in California, 6 million right here in Bay Area. So the success of the economy depends on the success of these businesses. Our group helps them cash flow management, every dollar which goes into the business, what's the optimal way to use that dollar, what's the optimal way to generate the most profit. We can help them with lending, we can help them with management, payroll, employees. Indirectly, the reason why it's my dream job is actually it helps create jobs. That's what our economy needs at this time. We need to create more jobs. 8.25% unemployment rate in California. There's, last time I checked, 11.2% all over the United States. We need to make these businesses successful. We need to make them run more efficiently so they can retain the people. They do not lay off, but they start hiring. That's what will get us our economy to where we need to be. In regards to my company, really love working for this company. #1 lender last 3 years in a row for Small Business Administration, #1 lender to minority businesses, and #1 lender to women-owned businesses. So women-owned businesses. Their main goal of our group is sit there, help these businesses be successful, and that's why it's my dream job. I'm happy to do it every day. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So next question is, we don't all land our dream job right out of college. We don't even land at our dream company right out of college. So kind of starting from the other end and back, Ray, could you tell us how you got to this point in your career? Are there common themes throughout your career, certain interests? What led you to where you are today? Were there some big breaks, things like that?
Sure. I mean, my dream job when I started my career was being either a doctor, a dentist, an engineer. That's what every Indian parent's dream is, right? You're either a doctor, you're a dentist. All my cousins are either doctors, dentists, engineers, or in systems management. And soon enough, I mean, I was going to school for that, but I realized that's not my dream job. That's my parents' dream job. So no hard feelings to any parents out there. I might need escort. You know? So, but follow your own instinct. I think that's the key. Sit there and evaluate what are you good at? What makes you successful? What makes you happy? Because you guys are all here, guys and gals, are all here for a reason. You are passionate about what you do. You've taken time out on a Saturday to be here for the whole day. You will be successful no matter what. But if you like what you do, you'll not only be successful, but you'll be happy.
Right. So I have very similar. Early on, I learned how to sell myself, personal selling. The biggest thing that I would have to say is how to sell yourself. You are your own product. You're going out there to sell yourself to all these businesses, to people, however it is. You're your own brand. And now with social media being out there on the forefront, this is your persona online, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you're doing, this is what people are reading about you. So in high school, my parents were like, you are going to go into the medical field. You're going to go be a doctor. You're going to go into pharmaceuticals. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And so for me to convince my parents to tell them that I wanted to go into business marketing was a big deal. And finally, my senior year, they said, okay, if you want to go into business, we'll let you go into business, and you have to be successful. Just go do it. So I'm like, great. So all through college, when I figured out that I need to make sure that I am set up for success, I need to go find my internships, I need to build my resume, and get the experiences that I needed to be successful. As soon as I graduated from college, I was going to have a job and do what I wanted to do and show my parents that I could doing what I want to do and be successful at it. Because at times, they're just like, I don't know why you want to go into business. Your cousin Kimberly's doing, the medical field. Your brother, Mark is doing this. Why can't you do that? And I wanted to be different. And I wanted to do what I was passionate about, what I was good at, and what would make me successful. So I would say it's all about personal selling yourself, being passionate about what you do, and making yourself known that that's what you're good at, and how you can be supported from that perspective.
Great, yes. Okay, so common themes and breaking points. Common themes. So I am one to make unpopular decisions. I work in fashion, which is clearly unpopular to my parents. Growing up in New York, so in the West Coast I hear a lot about your parents wanting you to be doctors, engineers. Am I missing a field?
Dentist.
Dentist, okay.
I can do that too.
In New York, it's doctor, lawyer, or you go into business. So first I had to cut a deal with my parents. I went to Michigan for school, which is rather far from New York City, and I had to say that I would study econ. Great, business. Okay, you can go. Then I made the unpopular decision of switching over to be a sociology major, which, how it relates to fashion, I don't know to this day, but it is an understanding of how people behave in the environment they're in, which is very important when it comes to in-store execution. So again, another decision that was not popular. My parents didn't even know what sociology was, so they kind of gave me the look of, I paid over $40K a year for you to go study what? But it was all driven out of